Hello everyone, welcome back to your own channel, the IS Track. Now, very few days are left with respect to the UPSC Prelims 2026. And let me tell you something very honestly. Most of the aspirants right now are feeling underconfident. Many of them have been coming to me and saying, sir, there's lots of anxiety, there's lots of fear, pressure is building up, there's lack of motivation. Now, this is not because that they don't know enough or they haven't studied enough. In fact, most of them have already covered almost each and every part of the GS. They're thorough with the concepts. But the issue is, the problem is that what all things they do on a daily basis, जिसको हम normally बोलते हैं, the habits which they follow, that is not in sync. That is not in sync with the nature of the examination. जो उनका habits का framework है, that is not in line with the demand of the examination. First of all, this video is only for the serious aspirant who are willing to put efforts and qualify the examination. Second, this video is not a motivational video. The very objective of the video is to tell you that if you adopt a habits framework, if you adopt certain micro habits from now onwards till your prelims, you can easily witness a boost of almost 20 to 25 marks in the prelims examination. But the promise which you'll have to make is you should follow all these 10 things. Question is that how is the nature of the examination dependent on the habits framework? देखिए, most of the people feel that the prelims examination is a test of knowledge. See, it's not just a test of knowledge. Prelims examination is like a test where the examiner or the examination or the commission is assessing your decision making skill within that limited time duration. तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ knowledge काम नहीं आएगी. There are many knowledgeable people who are very hardworking, but they haven't been able to qualify the examination, qualify the prelims examination. Primarily because in the prelims, what matters more is the smartness. You need to be smart. And that smartness would come once you would follow a certain habits framework. If you are following a conventional trajectory, if you are following a very conventional mode of preparation where you are just relying on different reference books, you're just reading them without following certain things which are really needed to crack the examination, things are going to be tough. देखिए, जो difference होता है between a person who is securing 85 marks and the other person who is securing more than 110 marks is not much. There's not much of difference as far as the knowledge is concerned. But the difference lies in how you approach the things. How many different things you do in order to basically develop that smartness. So simple सी बात ये है that if you are following a very conventional strategy, if you're just relying on textbooks and just reading it and thinking that you would qualify the prelims exam, it is going to be very difficult. As I said, we'll be talking about 10 micro habits, which if you start from today onwards till the prelims, you can easily witness a boost of almost 20 to 25 marks. Okay. Now, what is the very first habit which you should understand? The very first habit is the 30 questions daily contact rule. देखिए, there are many aspirants who feel that I'm not thorough with polity as a subject, or I don't know history as a subject, modern history or geography or any other part. Once I'll complete a particular subject, then I'll jump to the MCQs. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please come out of this inertia. Every day develop a habit to solve almost 25 to 30 quality MCQs. Quality MCQs. Even if you secure, let's say, 1 or 2 marks out of 30, that is not an issue. But the point is, train your mind, train your brain so that you are ready for the examination. You are ready for those questions. And what is really important is that once you see a question and you are not able to solve it, please look into the solutions part. See how that particular question can be solved. What are the different aspects of that particular question? Because if you are just relying on one particular conventional source, one particular book, that is not a guarantee that you would know each and everything with respect to that subject. Because prelims is an examination where you need to have certain skills. I have analyzed almost each and every question from 2020 till 2024, including 2025. And what I feel is that UPSC has now been shifting to more analytical questions, more questions based on concepts. एलिमिनेशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस है. अब एलिमिनेशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस का मतलब ये नहीं है दैट इट इज जस्ट बेस्ड ऑन द गेस वर्क. नो, इट्स बेस्ड अपॉन स्मार्ट वर्क. इट्स बेस्ड अपॉन नॉलेज बेस्ड एलिमिनेशन. तो बहुत जरूरी है ये प्रैक्टिस डेवलप करना, दैट यू सॉल्व एटलीस्ट 25 to 30 क्वेश्चंस ऑन अ डेली बेसिस. ट्रेन योर माइंड so that you feel more acclimatized, you feel more comfortable with those questions. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए that you are just for the very first time you are solving the questions in the examination room. On a daily basis, make a habit to solve at least 25 to 30 questions with the analysis of their solutions. ठीक है? Coming to the second habit. After you have given the mock test, please make sure that you do the analysis part. I have been stressing on this part again and again. This is non-negotiable. Most of the aspirants, what they do is they give the mock, check the score. Sir, exam diya and I'm just scoring 40 marks out of 200. I'm emotional, sir. I'll not continue now. And then they move on. Don't do this. Tests जो होते हैं, it's not just about marks. Please understand. Test is about any good quality mock test. It's a diagnostic tool. You would get a lot of inputs. You'll get a lot of content. You'll get a lot of concepts from the solutions of different mock tests. तो जो भी आपके gaps हैं, जो भी loopholes हैं, make sure that you give due emphasis, due importance to that. After every test, sit for at least 3 hours and analyze all the solutions. That is really going to plug the loopholes, plug the gaps. ठीक है? And that would make you more comfortable with the exam pattern, more ready with respect to the examination. देखिए, मार्क्स जो है ना वो सिर्फ पढ़ने से नहीं बढ़ेंगे कि सर आई एम रीडिंग लक्ष्मीकांत, आई हैव रेड इट 10 times and still I am not able to score good. Why? Because you are thinking that by reading Lakshmikant, you'll be able to solve each and every question in the prelims. That is not going to happen. Please make sure that after every mock test, जो भी आप mock test दे रहे हैं, full length tests, after that, you do the analysis of the solutions. I hope it is clear. Coming to the third habit, very, very important. Revision before addition rule means what? There is a 70-30 principle which you need to follow right now. Most of the aspirants, what they are doing is, they're now running for content. They are now running for new sources. Don't do that. Right now, starting from now onwards till the prelims, if you look at the time window which you have till 24th of May, 70% of the time should go in the revision part. And 30% of the time, and 30 भी बहुत ज़्यादा है, 30% of the time should go in the new content. Only if it is important. भाई current affairs हो गया, ठीक है, तो समझ में आता है. But with respect to the static portions, please minimize the content. Don't go for multiple sources. अगर आप चाहते हैं कि आपका दिमाग, if your mind retains, if your brain retains things, so what is really important is the revision part. If you're not revising, if you're just reading new content once, that is not going to help. Because in the prelims, depth is more important than volume. Sir, I have followed 4 sources for polity. I have followed 3 sources for modern history. Nothing's gonna happen. Follow 1 or 2 sources for a particular thing. Decide what you're going to read and then read it, revise it multiple times. I hope it is clear. Fourth is the weekly elimination drill. देखिए, बहुत ही stereotype कर दिया है इस चीज को. It has been stereotyped. Elimination technique. See, when I'm talking about elimination, I'm not talking about guesswork. I'm talking about knowledge-based elimination. 3-4 options में से अगर आप अपना knowledge apply करेंगे, if you apply your smartness, if you apply some logic, some rationality, you can definitely eliminate 1 or 2 options. Because abhi, if you look at the kind of questions which are coming, some of them, what you will see is that there are many statements which are partially correct. या कभी कभी you will see that there's a usage of extreme words, for example, only, या all, या none, या must, ठीक है? And most of those questions require logical reasoning more than the concept involved, more than the concept which is involved in the question. What is required is the application of logic, the application of rationality. तो भाई एटलीस्ट ऑन अ वीकली बेसिस कुछ ऐसे 20 क्वेश्चंस या 25 क्वेश्चंस देखो जो कि which are reflecting the kind of the pattern of UPSC. And over there, don't look, definitely give him or emphasize upon the concept which is involved. Definitely. But उससे ज़्यादा important है the technique. How to basically find the right option using the logic, using the rationality. Almost 20 questions on a weekly basis. Then we have the next part, which is the 20-minute weekly mapping drill. देखिए आप लोगों ने देखा होगा that अभी we are having a lot of questions based on the maps, based on the locations of different parts, be it the straits, the national parks, the seas, neighboring countries. There was a question कि बताइए अफगानिस्तान के neighboring bordering countries कौन से हैं? So there was also a question with respect to Ukraine. There can be a question, since Iran is in news, there can be a question with respect to the geography of Iran or the seas. We have Persian Gulf, we have Strait of Hormuz. So this is an area which is a low investment area but high return. Because if you give almost 15 minutes on a daily basis to the atlas, start with the very first page. Start with the very first page of the atlas and look at the important areas. You'll come with the physical map of India and then the political map, and then you'll go to, let's say, the regional maps of the country. And then let's say you go to the Europe part, look at the political map, the physical map, the important mountains, passes, seas, straits. Then you go to North America, right? So this is an area which requires less of effort and can give you more of return. Because the visual memory hoti hai na, it sticks more than the textual memory. So make sure that at least on a daily basis, you give 15 to 20 minutes to the atlas. And especially if you're reading the newspaper, make sure that what all places you hear about, maybe the Swat Valley, maybe the Golan Heights, or any of the area in the Middle East or in the Russia-Ukrainian conflict, please make sure that you look in the atlas, that particular area in the atlas. It's really going to help you a lot. Next thing which you'll have to understand is, the sixth part is current affairs strategy. And yahan par I'm saying using the word compression strategy. Right now what we are witnessing is that most of the aspirants, they're almost drowning in the current affairs, in the sea of current affairs. Bhai, Telegram pe or different WhatsApp group, different institutes, they're coming up with their own compilations. Please don't do that. Don't run for different current affairs material. Just select one particular source for the current affairs, a good credible source, authentic source, and please revise it multiple times. Current affairs again are very important, but not to the extent कि आप 5 sources follow कर रहे हो. No, this should not be done. One particular source, read it again and again, because current affairs require a lot of reading. If you really want to retain it, please make sure that your source should be crisp. Don't follow n number of sources for the current affairs. Try to compress it. Okay? Next is define your attempt strategy now. देखिए, by April and May, by the time April ends, you must know these 3 things. Pehla, the very first is that what is your safe attempt range? There are people who attempt 90 questions, there are people who attempt 75 questions, and both of them are qualifying. There are people who attempt 85 questions and then not able to qualify, because this particular person is marking more of the incorrect questions. Most of his questions are going incorrect. So in order to know that what is your good number, make sure that you practice enough. Okay? Next, you'll have to take some risk. Okay? Without risk, I don't think you'd be able to qualify the prelims. Some risk. Or wo risk, again, based on the knowledge. And that would come again with practice. Okay? And the most important part is whether you are able to smoothly go for 3 iterations. बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. कुछ लोग सिर्फ start करते हैं and in 1 hour 30 minutes they are just able to cover one reading of the paper. Don't do that. At least 3 iterations are enough. पहला आपने reading करी. For those questions where you are sure about, mark those questions. Second iteration should be for those questions where you have more or less more than 50% of the idea with respect to the questions. And then third iterations में वो सवाल, वो questions जहाँ पे आपको उतना idea नहीं है, where you can also avoid some questions. So at least 3 readings must be given. And for that, speed matters. Speed matters. Right? Next thing which you'll have to understand is you'll have to take an oath. You'll have to take an oath कि भाई कोई भी नहीं हम source or in fact any of the source which is new will not go for that. Because abhi kya hoga na, as I said, that right now what we are having is a lot of content on Telegram, on different channels, and most of those aspirants, they feel कि भाई अगर मैं ये पढ़ लूंगा या पढ़ लूंगी, I'll cover each and everything. That is not going to happen. Please understand. After a certain point, ideally by March end, there should not be any new books, no new compilations. Focus has to be on revision. By March end, the focus, in fact, including the current affairs, should be on revision. Don't go for any new source. It is not going to help you, because जो आपको confidence है with respect to the examination, that is only going to come from the consolidation. Consolidation of those sources which you have already covered, not the accumulation. 5 sources पढ़ने से, 5 reference books पढ़ने से with respect to one subject. For polity, sir, I have read 5 sources or 3 sources. That is not going to work. You read one particular source for polity, you read, let's say, one particular source for current affairs and revise it 5 times. That would work. So please take an oath. And last but not the least, psychological conditioning बहुत important. It's one of the most important part which you should focus on. At least on a daily basis, at least for 2 minutes, visualize करा करो. Visualize that you are entering the exam hall calmly. Because once you'll visualize, you'll make yourself comfortable with the process. Try to read questions slowly. Don't be in a panic mode always. ठीक है? Don't be in a panic mode. Because if you'll panic, that is again going to affect your efficiency. It's again going to affect the outcome. So don't do that, please. Right? So if you follow these things, believe me, you can easily increase your marks by more than 20. Easily, by 20-25. अगर आप सिर्फ एक conventional strategy follow कर रहे हैं, where you are just relying on books, where you are not practicing the mock tests, things are going to be very difficult. और सिर्फ solve करने से भी नहीं होगा. If you are just solving the mock test and if you are not doing the analysis part, again, this is not going to help. So make sure, at least on a daily basis, you try to make yourself comfortable with the process. And that comfort would come once you would do 2-3 things. Once you would try to adopt this particular habits framework. I hope it really helped, because I made this particular video because many students were asking, they were having a lot of confusions with respect to what to do in the coming days, right? So what you can also do is you can just search on Telegram and you can join the IS Track channel, and this is the QR code. We are sharing a lot of genuine, authentic strategies on the channel itself, because right now what we are witnessing is, there's plethora of guidance and content. Most of it, in fact, most of the aspirants are being misguided. So don't fall a prey to that. Make sure that you receive the authentic guidance, and I'm always there to help. You can just join the Telegram channel, and please do subscribe and do share with the serious aspirants this particular video. My best wishes with you. If you have any doubt, you can contact me through the admin in this particular channel. Go to the channel, and over there you will find the admin ID and you can contact me there. All the very best. Thank you so much.